Amazing morning, amazing morning. I am Evora Bentley. I am a faith coach helping others to change their mind so that they may change their world around them. I am also one who is helping to instill vision so that others may see the power in their mission. Yes, the power in your mission. Why you were created, your purpose for being here on this earth. So this morning I want to have a conversation with you. This message is specifically to the Black community. If you're someone else and you can get something out of the message, then by all means, so do that. This has been impressed on me for some time, to be honest, because of the fact before, when I was not grounded in who I am as far as knowing myself, I used to be afraid to speak about some of these things because of thinking about the backlash and things that would come up against me. However, when you are a person of truly a purpose and you understand purpose, you understand that when God uses you to be a vessel that is so much greater and bigger than you. So if you are someone who gets offended, I still love you, but I also want to encourage you to go and check within to see why you received any type of offense from this video. So anyhow, there have been some things for some time that has stirred up within me about the Black community in a whole. It was last year, I had a Hispanic pastor who actually prophesied, which I knew that God had been impressing on me for some time, that you're going to be a voice to speak as far as some things, as far as the Black community. And so over the years, I have fell so much more in love with, as far as being Black, the community, our culture, someone from experience who experienced racism, who honestly battled with some identity issues because of the color of my skin, from dealing with racism at a very, very young age. I mean, like torture. Me, my cousin, and my brother would have to be terrified getting off the bus, and we are like from between the ages from 6 to 8, knew that these white boys was going to be waiting on us to chase us home, calling us the N-word, tormenting us. So things like that, will cause you to kind of question who you are, your identity, and not actually love yourself for who you are. And so I had some conversations this week that really, really stirred some things up. And I want to encourage us as the Black community how important it is to deal so you can heal. And I've had so many people come up with the conversation as far as counseling and ask me. And I'm going to be honest and share something with you. I first started counseling maybe 6 years ago. And the reason why, it was personal to me. For those of you who may have heard some of my story, back in 2011, I had suicidal thoughts, depression, and I wanted to leave this place. I didn't think there was a purpose, and all of that happened from the adversity, the things that happened to me in the past. And so when I went through that mental illness, that's what it is. Let's just go ahead and call this thing out. We have to expose it. When you have those thoughts like that, as far as wanting to die, you're depressed, and just look, it's mental illness. Let's just be real about it. So I heard clear as day in my spirit, if we change our minds, we will start to see our world change around us. So when I say in every video, if you change your mind, you'll see your world change around you, that is healing in itself. You know why? Because healing first starts with you changing your mind, with you changing your perspective. And so I got in that place of being depressed, of wanting to check out on life, not believing I had a purpose because of the adversity. However, we fast forward years later, and this is what I want to encourage you to do. Change your mind, change your perspective about your adversity. I now allow my adversity to be the fuel pusher to push me to my destiny, and knowing that there was something trying to take me out because of the greater one that lives on the inside of me, and because of what I was called to do and who I was created to be. So I want to talk about counseling. I've told people, and I was telling somebody this week, yes, I so believe in counseling. And the truth of the matter is, even though So many people want us to forget about slavery. They want us to forget about the past and our history. In order for us to get a vision for our lives and who we are, we have to go back to the past. You see, a lot of us in the Black community, we avoid counseling, we avoid releasing stuff, because you have to think about in slavery as far as being beaten, being told you can't talk, just being shut up. All of that goes back to the root in the history of why we are afraid to do these things today. So I just come on here to encourage us how important it is to deal so we can heal. I was once a broken mother raising broken children that had to, when I started counseling, my baby started counseling. There was healing that needed to be done because of the residue that I didn't even know that unintentionally I was instilling within them because of my hurt, because of the things that I hadn't dealt with. That's the first thing. Let's not be afraid of counseling. Let's stop suppressing stuff. We don't realize that these things will lead to mental illness. These things will lead to rejection, identity issues, and all that kind of stuff. I'm going to tag a counselor because I know one. If you are a counselor, if you know somebody, go ahead and tag them in this post. Share this post, y'all, because we have to understand that in order for us to see our community get better as a whole, that we have to start with the person that we look at in the mirror every day. And that person is going to have to go within to deal so that we can heal, so that we can get the healing that we need in our community. I saw a comment yesterday, and a white lady put on the comment, the Black community is broken, which is true. We are so broken. And that just really does something to me. It just really, really do something to me, knowing as far as the history of us, as the fact that we cannot see ourselves as royalty, as kings and queens, that we can, so many of us struggle with seeing ourselves, knowing that we truly was created in the likeness and image of the Creator. Second thing I just want to share, had a conversation and was talking to a gentleman, and he was like, well, I'm from this side, and let's just say he was like, I'm from the east side, and the east side don't mess with the west side or something like that, right? And I said, that's the issue. That is the issue right there that so many of us in the Black community have. When we see one another, it should be so much love. It should be so much light because of the fact that we look like one another. And so many of us can identify with the issues and same struggles that we have. We need to come together. This is not trying to take away the racism, the injustice as far as what we experience from other races or other people like this. But this is so much for us to see how can things like that get better if we are so divided within our own community because of the brokenness and the healing that we need. Because we're so divided, so much division within us, our own community. So why wouldn't there so much to be division outside of the community for people against us? So, again, I just want you to be encouraged how important it is for us to deal so that we can heal. And I'm going to say it again. We will have to go back to the past in order to get a vision to move forward and so that we can receive the healing that we need. I love you all. I love you regardless of what your race, your belief, whatever it is. I love you all. I want us to do better in the Black community. I want us to do better as far and whole as humanity. You all have an amazing day on purpose.